Hello for today's game in the Alpha SC2 Team League, and we're here with the EU Pro Semifinal series of Infinity Gaming versus MKERS. And then let's just hop right in by introducing our first two players for this game. In the bottom right hand corner, here we go with the player for MKERS. It's the Red Zerg, his name is Nerchio. And he's starting up with what is expansion first, gas and pool, standard opening here. Let's go over to the other side where we have the player representing Infinity Gaming. It's going to be our Blue Zerg. Right here it is Denver. And then here we go with what is a fast third base. And therefore, yeah, let's see how he's going to play it out. Is a little bit behind in drones, obviously, because he was placing the hatchery before, but other than that, yeah, his queens are a little bit later, his speed is more or less at the same point in time, but yeah, he has to equal out the score at the drone disadvantage there at some point, and I guess he will be able to, but Nerchio also going for the expansion here, and therefore, yeah, let's see how this is going to play out. And it's going to play out with a pause right there. So yeah, I don't know what's going on. Maybe it's lagging or whatever. That actually was a big issue in the pre-game lobby thing, whatever. No, you see Skype sound. Okay. But yeah, everyone was like, oh, if anyone is lagging, you have to leave the game. And I'm like, yeah, isn't that pretty obvious?
Game resumed.
Lol. Okay. And that also... Okay, I'll just put that in between games. But yeah, never mind guys. We're back in. And I'll tell you some stories after the game then. So yeah, let's see. Any differences? Not at all guys. We have Baning Nest for either player. Yeah. And yeah, other than that, we have Denver already equaling out the disadvantage in terms of workers. He's ahead in this stage, but yeah, you see Nerchio actually going for 6 more, so he's going to equal that one out. So it's going to be a back and forth balanced thing there. And then it comes down to which units are we going to see, and who's going to be the aggressive player here, and who's going to be the defender. And will they actually attack with the Zergling Baneling, or did both players just go for the Baning Nest as some sort of defensive mechanism? And that seems to be the case for Denver right there. As we see the Roach Warren popping up right there. He's walling up this location here, so he only has this choke to take care about. On the other side we actually have tier 2 starting. It's right there at the expansion. So maybe he's aiming for his... No, not Centrifugal Looks, what I was about to say, but he's also going for the Roach Warren then. And other than that, yeah, it's just Zerglings running around. It's not really going to be any big of a deal. Both players actually going for +1 ranged attack. Nerchio having that one started just a little bit earlier, while this Roach Warren was a little bit later, and the other way around by Denver. So yeah, it looks like it's pretty much the same on either side. Yeah, some Zerglings going over. Army supply looks the same. We have some more drones here. Some small lead there for Nerchio. And he's still going for more drones than his opponent, so he's going to further the lead here. But then we all... Oh, boys! And it's not only both players going for Roach Warren and not really knowing what's going on there. But then, oh, how do I mute this? There we go. Yeah, it's Nerchio going for the Spire, as you can see. It is over here. And yeah, it will be scouted though. You can see it right there. Or will it? Yes, yeah, should be in range. So there's the Spire Scout. I hope he's going to click on it. I guess so. And then what will be the reaction here? Will he go for the Spire himself? Nope, he's going for the Hydralisk then. And that's the thing to counter this. Both players going for the 4th base in the meantime. And oh, Denver seems to be planning some sort of Baneling drop here, but yeah, as you see, everything has been scouted there by the Overlord, and it's not going to be a surprise at all. So yeah, let's see, some roaches there. Still, supply is pretty much the same. We have 8 Hydras coming out, 12, 11, like some Mutas coming on the other side. But yeah, you know, like Mutas against Hydras are not the best thing to have, right? And yeah, you have the Mutas actually going for the Baneling drops. You have one Baneling drop right here at the bottom as well. So let's see how that is going to end up. And it looks like there's not that much of a preparation here. Come on, there we go. 8 drones killed. Very good job here. And he's actually going to the main base, and he might get another Baneling drop here. I mean, there's only 2 Mutas. No chance that he's actually going to do that much. And that is actually pretty good for Denver. 19 drones being taken out here by just this one drop. That is pretty decent, to be honest. Also, it should have been scouted. Like, the Banelings were morphing right here underneath the Overlord. So Nerchio should have seen that. He caught this one at the top, more or less. But yeah, in the end, 19 drones is quite a lot. And yeah, we almost have no chance of actually Nerchio dealing damage with his Mutas. I'm not sure. I mean, they should have been scouted. There's no Spore anywhere, I think. But still, we have a lot of Hydras. I would like to see this one being opened, because it would make the movement to defend the second base a little bit better. Because obviously, you just have to swing around this way now to go back to your main. And if you can just go through here, it's way better. But let's take a look at the fight coming in right there. Nerchio actually having some sort of a supply lead here. But then again, we have the Hydras in. +2 attack for Nerchio though. 1-1 for Denver. Let's see how that is going to play out. We have some Hydras back there in the mix for the Infinity Gaming player. But it looks like, I mean, the army supply is dropping for Denver. But obviously all the supply has to run over for Nerchio. But still, it looks like it's going to be enough for the Polish player here. At least for now. We have the reinforcements coming in now. How many reinforcements will be there for Nerchio though? I mean, it's not like a red line is streaming across the map. So is he actually going to get them over? Maybe sooner or later. Maybe Denver will be able to hold. But you can see the disadvantage right there. And yeah, the question is, will the trades be effective here for Denver? And it doesn't look like that's the case. And sooner or later, Nerchio, I think, will get the upper hand, will take out the 4th base. And if that is going to happen, he's going to take such a big lead here, despite the fact that he lost some workers. And actually, he lost quite a few of those. I mean, like almost 20 is a pretty big deal. But if you have enough units to just overwhelm your opponent afterwards, yeah, even taking out some Overlords there. But can he go up the choke point? At least he tries, so he's going forward with it. And there's no Hydras coming in for Denver as well. I don't know why. But I think he should add some Hydras to this to have some more damage. Obviously, you need the tanking units like Roaches to absorb the damage. But then, going in without any Hydras, I think is a mistake here for Denver. I mean, it's not like about his resources, you can see at the bottom. It should be about the lava, potentially, that he feels like he's not able to take care of this properly. But you can see now, Nerchio is taking his forces back, and Denver has lost the base. And that is the big deal here. I mean, the army supply is still a bit in favor of Nerchio. Upgrades, though, have been favoring Denver now. Nevertheless, I think Denver now is going to build more and more stuff. He's going to build up an army, and he's going to march across the map, because what else to do, guys? He has the better upgrades, and he has lost the base. If he's not replacing that one, this obviously should be the case that he's going over. But nevertheless, I think it would be very wise to add some Hydras to the mix. And you can see 10 Miras coming out of Nerchio now. And as soon as we have Hydras, that's not a problem. As long as we have only Miras and nothing else to deal with it, I think we're going to see the GG by Denver sooner or later. And there we go. Miras coming in. Biles are not going to hit those. And he's going to take out the Ravagers. Those are the more important units here, obviously, being morphed from it. And you can see the GG coming out. He was about to put the 4th base down again, but it never happened in the end. Nerchio is going to take the first game for the MKERS. And here we go. We're on Automaton. It's game 2 in the semifinal series. And over here in the bottom left, we have our blue Terran. He's representing Infinity Gaming, and his name is Clem. Our French player right there. And his opponent, also being a French guy, taking the Protoss race and the red color. And his team is going to be MKERS, and his name is PtitDrogo. So here we go with what looks like gateway expansion into Cybercore. On the other side, yeah, it looks like a Reaper expansion, a little bit dropped right there by the probe. Yeah. And that actually is something you can do. Obviously place it a little bit off guard, let's say, out of position. So you at least start it and you can fly it over, which might cost you less time than actually waiting for the probe to leave. But yeah, you see, it's there, and I'm not 100% sure if it's should be properly positioned, right? I hope so. I think so. But yeah, we have the Reaper waiting here, scouting around just a bit, and yeah, there we go. Yeah, Robo is going to be the tech choice here for Drogo, so no Stargate play. Expansion finished, so we have 2 workers building at a time, so that's not that big of a surprise, but you can see, yeah, the Stalker is there. Clem is not going to get that much done with his Reaper. Maybe he can jump in later on to get a scout somehow from this area there. But yeah, you see some Hellions coming out. But it looks like he's not swapping over here. Starport is coming up as well, so it somehow looks like, I don't know, what should it be? Like a Widow Mine drop? 2 Widow Mines for Marines, potentially? Hellion going across the map to help the Reaper, but with 2 Stalkers there, I think it's more or less no chance of those 2 units actually dealing damage against the Stalkers or against any probe or whatever. And actually, you put the KDA charge there, and the Stalker may run into this, be thrown a little bit ahead of the Reaper and actually get another shot off. You might lose your Reaper, so it was... Yeah, I mean, I think it wouldn't have been enough, but it could be the case. So it was some sort of a risky move there. And there we go, so it's 1 Widow Mine, 6 Marines. Not 2 and 4. And in addition, yeah, he's going for more Marines, he's going for a tank, he's going for a Liberator back here. Observer is going to see what's going on inside of this base. And there we go with the drop. But we have 3 Stalkers right there. Oh boy, he's not even able to unload all the units. Oh boy, that's... Okay, at least he gets the Widow Mine sorted out there. Oh, this could be a big connect there. And he only gets 3. So PtitDrogo reacted kind of nicely here. 4 units going down, and that trade was really good for the Protoss player here. Really nice reaction. Also, he was... it looks like he was kind of prepared. He was scouting with the Observer. He kind of saw the building setup, so maybe he was thinking about that instantly. Put some Stalkers to the main base. Was able to instantly deal with the Medivac and then deal with the dropped units. I mean, not even all the Marines were getting out of the Medivac there. And now we have all these units going to the main base. Do we actually have... We have no blink. We have just a Warp Prism to blink with the Stalkers, if you can call it blink, right? Nevertheless, yeah, he's just taking one worker and some Marines. Yeah, you can see that that's one of the plays that good old Soccer was playing a lot when he was, I don't know, going for some advantage in StarCraft 2, like not that long ago. Liberator didn't get any kills over here, so at least blocking the mineral line for this one gets one kill at least. And the Observer actually has a pretty high value here for PtitDrogo. So let's see what he's going to do. Is he going to drop on top of the tank? Is he going to drop in the back of this, or is this just a scouting move? Seems like he's just flying out again. And the back of this, PtitDrogo just going for the third base. He feels comfortable. He's ahead in terms of workers. His army is okay. I mean, his army is smaller, but I think if Clem... Oh, there was some sort of Liberator shots. Yeah, there we go. 4 kills. I mean, if Clem would walk out, it would clearly be scouted. Because there's the Observer right on top of everything. So if that would be the case, I think PtitDrogo would just gather all of his army back at home. He could have recalled this Warp Prism to have the units back there, and then, yeah, I think it wouldn't be that big of a problem for him to hold against the Terran army there. What would be nice would be some more meat shield, like he has an okay amount of force fields and stuff, but I think some more zealots would be pretty nice. Obviously they would go down against the Widow Mines pretty nice, pretty fast, but also just sucking off some shots of the Marauders would be pretty nice. So therefore, yeah, let's see how this is going to end up, because Clem, as you can see, is moving out. We have the tank in the medevac, and he's aiming for the third base, which, yeah, there's no side of for the Terran player. Yeah, unit has been taken out. Should have been an Observer, I guess. So, tank is there. Will be sieged. Second tank with Gami as well. Putting it forward with the medevac. Widow Mines being borrowed. And there you go. And yeah, with the Observer being taken out there. And there's no additional one, I think. Okay, there's one over there. But let's take the focus on the army here. And yeah, you can see he's going in from different angles here. And PtitDrogo looks pretty good here. Despite the fact that his supply is less than his opponent's. But he at least was able to take out one of the tanks, which is, yeah, one of the big damage units here. And also one of the big zoning tools. So yeah, there we go. Widow Mine actually activates there into the Stalkers. 2 more Widow Mines doing their thing. And wow, he's losing quite a lot against the Widow Mines here. But let's go over and take a look at the drop here and see what it's going to do. And he's just going for, or he's trying to go for the Colossus obviously, but it's microed. But can he get it? Nope, he can't. One medevac going down though. Oh, he's recalling the Colossus to the third base, where there is another attack incoming with the Nexus going down. And I think that's it for Clem. That's what he wanted. He has the next stop, or the next, yeah, chunk of units right there in the back of the second base. So yeah, Nexus being replaced instantly by PtitDrogo. In the meantime, we have Clem actually building a third base. It's halfway done, and PtitDrogo is going for the counter aggression here. So yeah, let's see if Clem, yeah, he's going to scout it right here. And he's going to just go forward. Here we go, and that's, yeah, that's what I mean. Like, there's no meat shield for the Protoss army. Sentries go down one after the other, and I think with just the reinforcements, yeah, he's going to deal with everything pretty nicely here. He's stepping forward to get the Colossus, and then the Marauders as well will just take out the Stalkers one after the other. Clem having more than double the army supply, and he's marching forward now. I think we might see the 1-1 here, and he's lifting everything to go to the main base. And there was some sort of a misblink by PtitDrogo. So yeah, no blink to the main base here. He's going to have some buildings unpowered, I guess. Or is he even? And yeah, the Widow Mines are going to connect here pretty nicely. Oh boy. All the Zealots being taken out, that's a nice thing as well. And actually, Clem is just deciding to take out all of his units and keep them alive while he's going for another push to the third base then. And yeah, he's actually just trying to focus out the right units. Okay, wanted to go into the main base again, sees the Stalker standing there, so he's just deciding to do otherwise then. But yeah, hit squad at the third, still being here. Observer sees the medivacs repositioning, so the stalkers will go over to the left as well. So let's see how this is going to end up, because PtitDrogo, with having a Colossus, there still is a chance, but he needs more units to actually soak the damage, so stalkers and Colossus can deal enough of those. But yeah, with the big amount of Marauders that Clem has right there, I think he has a pretty good shot of actually taking out this base one more time. He's taken a small chunk to just try and focus out the Colossus, which is not going to help, but the Liberators are coming in right there. And you can see that's going to be it right here. The GG has been called by PtitDrogo, and Clem is going to take the 1-1 for Infinity Gaming. Map 3 in this semi-final is going to be played on Kairos Junction. Right here in the bottom right hand corner we have our German player, the blue Protoss for the MKERS. It's ShoWTimE! And going over to the top left for Infinity Gaming, here we go with another Protoss taking the red color, representing Infinity Gaming. It's Goblin. And I guess we can more or less be sure that this is going to be the double gateway opening for both players, and surprise surprise it is. But we also see some movement on the minimap. So do we have Goblin expecting something over here? Or is Goblin actually aiming for a proxy himself? It would be very ridiculous if ShoWTimE goes for the proxy gateway over here, maybe proxy Robo, and Goblin goes for, I don't know, the proxy Stargate over here. That would be very ridiculous. Could be the case as well that Goblin is just scouting over here to get a scout on this one, but it looks like he's going to build something, right? Yeah, that's the pylon. Oh boy, in the back of the middle line of Goblin's expansion we have a probe. It's going to go up. We have 2 stalkers in production for Goblin, Stalker and a sentry back at home for ShoWTimE. And actually the probe left. So what is that all about? I'm kind of wondering, maybe he wants to fake that he's boxing something. So I think ShoWTimE did go, yeah, ShoWTimE went into the main base, saw 2 pylons, and maybe he's like, okay, you should have 3, and in his mind there could be the possibility of a proxy. So maybe this is just some mind game stuff. The same happens on the other side, but then again, you can see what there was in terms of scouting for Goblin, and it's exactly nothing. But then let's take a look at what is going over here. 2 adapts, 2 stalkers. Then that's it. And it looks like he's preparing for some Stargate build, which is not the case at all. Both players just going for gateway units, at least for now. Yeah, nice move. Doesn't get the adapts into his main base. Another stalker just finishing. And gateway tag also being there. I'm not sure if he should maybe take 1 or 2 sentries to the low ground. I think 2 would be good. 1 for the safety, force field on the choke should be on the high ground. Maybe, oh, what is that actually? It's 2 adapts being warped in on the left for ShoWTimE. Yeah. Also, like, yeah, that is what I meant. Like, you can just put everything in the choke point here. If it's a sentry with the force field on the high ground, if it's the probe, just placing the cannon, the pylon there, or shield battery. But there you go. This will be at least 1 worker kill. Could be some more. He's not reacting with units right there. Goblin is not doing a thing. He's losing 3 workers, losing 4th one. Will be 5 or 6 at least. He's going up to 7, going up to 8. And then let's take a look to the other side, where we have 2 of ShoWTimE's workers going down. But this adapt is clearly going to go down in a trade here. So overall, ShoWTimE came out, yeah, with a way better trade here. You can say with 8 over 3 workers killed. And ShoWTimE going for another weapon of adapts over there. And then, what else do we have? Do we have a War Prism yet? Nope, we don't. First thing is in the model. We have a Forge coming up as well. And he's forcing Goblin to stay back at home. yeah, obviously he's not going to finish the shades right there. And oh, I see someone using the bracket command. Actually, there is no bracket for this one. And this is just an Alpha SC2 Team League game. It's the semifinals. So this is just one clan war, Infinity Gaming versus MKERS. We're going to have at least 4 games. We're at 1-1. This is game 3. Nerchio won against Denver. Clem won against PtitDrogo. So we have Goblin versus ShoWTimE on screen. Next game will be Namshar versus Soul. If we're ending up in a 2-2 draw situation, then we're going to have the ace match. So Mr. Credex or Credex. That's why the bracket command is not really up to date. So yeah, we have both players with 2 bases now. Goblin a little bit behind in terms of workers, as you can see, by 6 right there. Upgrade wise, +1 is on the way for ShoWTimE. Zealot Charge is on the way for ShoWTimE. We have Blink though for Goblin. And then let's see what he can actually do with the Stalkers going across the map. I mean, it doesn't really look like a Stalker heavy army. It looks like there are even more Stalker and more sentries than Stalkers, but you can have the next round of Stalkers coming in. That actually puts in some Blink availability. But then again, you see 2 Immortals being there. Nice force fields actually. Nice Blinks back in the back of the force fields. But nevertheless, the Immortal obviously can also be just taken to the Warp Prism and taken back. And now, yeah, the force field energy is going low already. Moment. That's like 5 more. Oh, that was a nice try. Trying to take out the Warp Prism, which obviously is always able to save the Immortals, which is a big deal here. Nevertheless, it didn't happen, and there we go, with the Immortals just taking out the Stalkers, one after the other. Weapon Pylon will be taken out, and ShoWTimE, I think, has taken a pretty good stand, and I think he feels the same by just taking the expansion over there. And I think Goblin was thinking about the same thing, but then it was like, okay, I didn't really get the big value out of this one, so I might not want to go for the expansion there. But is he? Or is he just long distance mining to have it just in case? Oh, blink forward, taking out the Warp Prism there. Oh, but then he has no blink and he's losing more Stalkers. Oh boy, so is ShoWTimE actually following this up? More Stalkers incoming. With blink, obviously they have a good shot against anything. At least they can run away, which always helps a little bit. But then the numbers game pretty much is in favor of ShoWTimE there. You can see, yeah, uphill fight for Goblin, never a good thing. Also, Stalkers against the model, not the ideal setup to have it. But yeah, he's trying to go to the high ground there, but does he have high ground vision? Yeah, the Phoenix is there. So he's going to the main base, trying to deal some more damage, but we had a little bit of a recall there for ShoWTimE, so he's really on top of everything here. He's just sandwiching everything. There's not that much he can do. Yeah, he can take out the Warp Prism one more time, but you're going to lose all of your units, Mr. Goblin. Yeah, you're taking out some more workers. That's at least, that's the least he can do. But then he's going to take his units out of there. And now let's take a look at this. He doesn't know about the 3rd base, but he's going to scout that with the units that he's sending over there. His own 3rd base is a little bit later than the one of ShoWTimE. And ShoWTimE now is moving out with a lead of almost 30 army supply there. Yeah, you can say that it looks kind of good. Also, the Stalkers are just passing by. They're not really caring about it. We have some Stalkers dealing with the probes at the 3rd of ShoWTimE. And actually, ShoWTimE deals with them. Yeah, they're trying to blink out, but now they're just buying time, going to the last corner they can get into. And they're not buying any time anymore. It's the GG by Goblin right there after having the units being taken out. So ShoWTimE takes the lead again for the MKERS. It's 2-1. And here we are with map 4, and the playground for this one is going to be Port Alexander, spawning the top left hand corner. It's going to be our Zerg player representing Infinity Gaming from Sweden. It's Namshar. And yeah, obviously he wants to win right here and force the ace match. Taking a look over to the other side where we can find the opponent. He's representing the makers. He's a Terran. He's taking the blue color. His name is Soul. And you can more or less say, like, he wants to win because then his team is going to the finals. And obviously that is the big goal, right? So we have Reaper, expansion for Soul, and what was a pool first for Namshar. We have just 2 Zerglings coming out for now. So it's not really that much. Is he actually trying to, with just 2 Zerglings? Doesn't really seem very likely to really deal any damage or, I don't know, interrupt or cancel the command center there. Especially not with the Reaper coming out. Like, without speed, you don't have a chance at all. And there you see, like, that's the problem here. And maybe that's also the thought process, like, you know that there's going to be a Reaper, and maybe the chance of actually passing the Reaper without being scouted is kind of low. So you don't want to lose 4 or 6 Zerglings, therefore you just send 2. And therefore accept the lower chance of getting the SCV sniped or whatever. Or maybe the command center delayed just a bit. Yeah, but the Reaper is going across the map now. You can just follow him and see what he's going to do. There's a queen and it's going to be a greeting community here. So he's just going over to the next journey point, which is the 3rd base. And he's going to, yeah, just scout it, going back and forth just a bit. You can see he's just flying around with his suit. And Namshar, yeah, with the additional queen, is going for some creeps, but he's skipping some of the injects at the 2nd base because he doesn't need them right here, but he's actually willing to sacrifice this for having more of those. And with having 2 more queens in production, he's going up to 4. And I mean, yes, there's a 3rd base, and yes, 4 queens is some sort of an okay and usual number. Nevertheless, with having a Zerg here, it always comes into play if there would be a Nidus, right? He's attacking his own creep tumor there, by accident, I guess. So yeah, the creep will go crazy, right? We have 4 queens, 2 of them actively creeping forward. So this also helps the Zerglings just deal with Hellions and stuff. It's not only scouting information, it's also just the support of speed. And even more speed. I mean, oh boy, what do we see over there? Wow, Soul is going for it, guys. So, that was close. Like, the Zerglings were almost surrounding the units. But yeah, you can see it's a battlecruiser rush there, boys. We actually have Spore Crawlers coming up, so maybe he's expecting some sort of Banshee play, which is not the case here. But it's going to be battlecruisers, so at least the Spores are going to do something. The question is, how much? And there we go. He's teleporting right there in the top left-hand corner. So let's see what he's going to achieve. I guess some workers are going down there. Wow. I mean, this is so ridiculous. He's actually going for this so easily. Yeah, he's focusing on the drones. Is up to 8. Wow. The battle cruisers, guys. And I mean, even if he loses this one, doesn't really care that much, I think. 12 workers. I think that was worth it. We have some counter aggression going on though, and there's nothing to hold the wall. Wait, what? There's no repair on the wall? And Namshar actually gets in with the Zerglings. Oh boy. How many units are there at home? It's 3 Marines and a lot of workers. So how many can he take out there? It will not be that many, but yeah, he's going around and try and go into the main base. And this SCV actually gets the depot away from being put up there. And I think this again is worth it for Namshar. This was really nice timed by this counter aggression with the Zerglings, because all the army of Sol was on the other side of the map. He lost his battlecruiser. And yeah, I mean, the workers killed count is 12 to 8. I think in the end it was pretty much okay for Namshar, especially taking into account that he's going for the 4th base. It's halfway done already. So obviously going for the 3rd base here, but I think Namshar was doing a really good job here with counter aggression and just trying to go for some workers, trying to go around to go for the threat of the Marines, so he has repositioned the Marine. And also he maybe got a little bit lucky by the depot not being raised due to the fact that his SCV was on there. But yeah, you see, these medivacs not going to do that much over here. Some Zerglings, I think they were at least taking out the SCV there, building this depot. It's that, just overlords going out. And yeah, you can see the creep spread, it's incredible. So 3rd base is down. We have Hydras coming into play as well. Obviously, you need to transition out of this somehow. And the Banes are getting closer. The Zerglings are actually wrapping out everything and really lift everything. Not everything, but at least something here. And the tank is going to be sieged. Big hit into the Zerglings. And yeah, Namshar is going back home. But still, I think Namshar is taking a pretty strong position here. He's also going for the Hive. But let's see what that is. A Liberator in the back of this. So he's going in right there, while the rest of his army is trying to do something right here. Taking out some creep tumors. And yeah, at least taking 3 workers out over here. But we have the Zergling run by. That is not going to do that much this time, at least. Reinforcements dealing with everything there for Sol. But then again, where is he going in? Liberator is actually being sieged again. Up to 7 kills. So yeah, you can see Sol is trying to pressure into this. Also, he was not going for a 2nd battlecruiser yet. He was just going for, yeah, the swap over to a reactor and build some medivacs now. And there's another drop going over. It's 8 Marines into this. And yeah, still we have the push over here. And the Liberator, I think it went down, right? Yeah, I think so. Oh boy. Let's put that out of the frame and take a look at this. Yeah, at least forces Sol to use another scan to take out the creep. He has some active tumors right there at the top. Medivac going to the main base. There you can see some Marines coming down. And everything is being lifted here. Oh boy, this looks like it's harming Namshar quite a bit. He lost some workers to the Liberator before, and there you can see the army arrives and he just lifts everything, gets out of there. Namshar's worker lead is getting, yeah, smaller. And also, you see what this is, guys? This is a drop to the main base. There's a lot of units actually below this. And Sol needs to be very careful, especially with the Hydras next to this, to not have the medivacs being taken out. But then again, yeah, this is going to be happening. But you can see all this movement in the middle of the map. And what is there to defend, guys? I mean, there's 3 tanks. But this base looks pretty much in danger, right? And are the big connection there with the tanks to go for the banelings. 19 workers went down though. That's quite a few, right? And therefore Sol is taking a big hit again. But then, yeah, he's also aiming for another drop to the main base. We have 1 drop right there at the 4th base, which is going to be dealt with just some Zerglings. But there you go. Hellbat's being transformed over there. And then the Hydras are coming back in. But yeah, how much more stuff will he be taken out? We have the main base being taken out, but luckily Namshar was going for the hive back here in the 2nd base. Ultralisk Cavern is finished. He's going for the upgrades, as you can see. And yeah, still, the drop is going to be back and forth. We also have the Overlord store, so yeah, he's moving the army over already. And still has a big force of Zerglings in the middle of the map. Yeah, so let's take a look at this for now. Namshar actually is, it feels like struggling somehow to find the right movement, and there you see, he's just going in with the counter aggression and the run by into the second base. Oh boy, so that actually is a big hit, but yeah, the army that he has looks like it's not that big of a deal. Okay connection there with the Baning, at least taking out some of the Marines. But then again, the threat of the drop to the main base is still there. He's focusing the Medivacs. Big Baning connection there for Namshar. That was really, really good. And there, yeah, I think he should just save the Medivacs, and he does not. But let's take a look over to this one. Baning's exploding into the tanks. And it looks like Namshar really taking some good trades here, especially if you take into account that the Zerglings were there all the time in the main base. We have the command center and the next natural expansion going down. We have the command center in the main base burning already. And overall, 30 workers were taken out by Namshar. And yeah, I mean, he's not mining in his main base, but he's taken out so much stuff. His army supply looks good. His worker count looks better than his opponents. And I think he might just be able to just push forward and pressure the 4th base over there. There's just one tank. Obviously tanks are good. And also the depots are pretty nice to have Banelings at least blocked for a bit. But is it going to be enough to hold here? I mean, it's at least 30 supply of a difference. And he's going to fall in and flank there from the left hand side. Zerglings going for the tank in the back. And Banelings are going forward. But is it going to be enough? We have the Zerglings actually coming in from the back. The Banelings just going for the workers. And 16 more going down. Soul is leaving the game right there, which means that Namshar is going to take for the 4th game, and therefore we're going to the ace match. Welcome to New Repugnancy right here as the playground for the ace match. We're here, let me actually switch the overlays or the position of the overlay. Top right hand corner, we have our Zerg player. He's representing Infinity Gaming. Here we go with Denver. And over in the bottom left hand corner, for the makers, it's going to be our Protoss. It's ShoWTimE. So then let's take a look at this. Gateway, expansion, Cybercore being the next one over there. And on this side, yeah, hatchery, gas and pool. So I think the most standard openings were chosen from either player. And then, let's see how they play on out from this. Will we see some sort of a faster 3rd base for Denver? Is he going to play safe? Because he's expecting ShoWTimE to go for some sort of a 2-base timing or whatever. Will there be oracles? Or maybe just one oracle? Will there be Phoenix? Or will there be a Robo? Let's see, guys. I mean, Cybercore is finished. He's chrono boosting this one, but it's an adapt, not a stalker here. And tech being chosen for ShoWTimE is going to be the Twilight Council. So no Stargate for now. The drone, will it get home alive? Let's just follow this one and see. And he gets out. The adapt is coming in. And Probe gets home safely. So then again, I think this one is the guy to follow now. And it's going to shade over, take a look at the 3rd base, see that it's there at least. And then he's following it up with the Robo. No tech, at least for now, at the Twilight Council. And now he starts one, which is the Zealot charge. So yeah, the thing is, did Denver look at that for that long? And did he see? And it actually was just a fake by ShoWTimE. Very interesting move here. You can see the Dark Shrine coming up. Robo is there, and with the I think with the Twilight Council actually starting to research something, if Denver got a glimpse of that, I think he should expect some sort of Arcan Zealot play, which is the most likely thing to have with the follow-up of a Templar's Archive, I think. But I'm not sure if he actually would take DTs as the opportunity here, and if he would have expect ShoWTimE to cancel this and go for the Dark Shrine. But yeah, some more gateways coming in. He will be up to 4. War Prism is going across the map, which is going to be scouted there. And then again, is the War Prism timing that usual? We have an Overseer coming in at least, so that is going to be something. So Warpen going down, it's going to be 4 Dark Templars. They're going to take out the Zergling, which could be a tell already, but then he's going to put them into Arcans immediately, so yeah. Let's see what the Arcans can do now. War Prism is not really taking care of the Arcans that much, but then it does in the end. So ShoWTimE is like, okay, let's reposition the Nexus because it was not in the right spot. Overlord's still being here, and he's going for Immortals then. And against Roaches, which is the choice for Denver right there. It looks pretty good. And yeah, let's see how that is going to play out. With just Roaches, it's not going to be easy, but Denver obviously transitioning already. He's going for the Hydra Den already. But will it be there in time? Will the Hydras be there in time? I mean, ShoWTimE, he's not really moving out yet. So you'll have 2 models at least. 4 HP in there, 2 additional gateways. Arcan's going to the main base. So yeah, some more creep spread. 2 Phoenix coming over. Not sure if that was intentional or maybe he was just putting into Phoenix to actually take out the Overseer that was taking a good spot here to see everything going on. And he didn't take it out in the end. But now you see ShoWTimE moving out. Is it to just protect the 3rd potentially? Or will he actually move out for an attack? To, I don't know which base it was from Denver. But I'm not sure if an attack into this would actually be that good. Denver has a pretty decent army supply. Some of it is in production obviously. But Hydra's, yeah, looking good. So now, ShoWTimE taking a defensive position here. Arcans are still in the War Prism. And Denver is going over. Does he know about the 3rd? Yeah, he does know about the 3rd over there. So I was actually wondering why he was going to take a look over to the left-hand side base. No, good move there. At least almost takes out the Arcan, the Overseer. And I think taking out the Overseer here would be very interesting for ShoWTimE, to be honest. Because if it just takes out the one Overseer that is there, 1 DT can actually make a pretty big difference, and you see beautiful force fields actually coming out of for ShoWTimE. But is it going to be enough? We have a big army here for Denver coming in, and is there going to be enough meat shield right there for the Immortals to deal their damage? The War Prism obviously being there, but it's going to be attacked. It's low health already. Is it going to be enough for ShoWTimE to hold? Denver is just marching through here. We have the Hydras going back actually. Oh boy, he's deciding to return and try and gather some more forces. Hydra's obviously trying to get behind the Roaches, some more reinforcements coming in there from the top, but ShoWTimE is just following it up everything. And yeah, the Hydra's getting attacked by the Zealots. That's not a bad thing for ShoWTimE. Obviously, like, if the Zealots connect, it's always good for the Protoss player. And still, I think it was a pretty decent shot for Denver to actually win the battle. He got a really good shot and really good focus on the War Prism there at one time, and I think he actually killed it, right? No, he didn't kill it. Where's the War Prism? There it is. So it got down to 24 health points. And if that would have been taken out, I think there could be the decision of Denver actually staying in the fight, because he would be able to take out more units. Because, yeah, having a War Prism in the back of this, just having ShoWTimE lifting and dropping the models one after the other, taking them back to the background of the fight, and just be able to deal a lot of damage. Yeah, that would be pretty nice. That would be very nice to take out the War Prism for Denver. But let's take a look at this right here. We have another Overseer with this, but we also have Templars, and we do have Storm. So taking a fight right there, going for this one is pretty hard for Denver. As you can see, if the Storm hits, it's going to be some sort of a problem. And obviously he wants to have ShoWTimE going down the choke, wants to have the concave for himself, instead of ShoWTimE actually having the choke point being used for storms and stuff. So yeah, it's still a lot of storms in the fight here. So I think ShoWTimE will be fine with everything right there. The Immortals are moving forward. Nice storms dropping left and right. There's no chance of the units on the right hand side going anywhere. And Denver is actually dropping in terms of supply quite a bit. Here we go. Yeah, ShoWTimE is just putting on a really good fight, really good defense here. And now he's just following all the units to the other side. Denver will be under pressure because ShoWTimE is going for the 4th base behind this, while we have our Zerg player, who is Denver, just being on 3 bases. And will he be able to do anything here? Some more Archons are coming in, and now ShoWTimE is on the same army supply with having Immortal Archon. Boy, that sounds rough for the Zerg here. And ShoWTimE is actually aiming for this base, which actually is non-existent. So yeah, he's going up the choke. He sees, okay, there's nothing. I have a really good position here, so why would I waste anything and get myself into a bad spot in terms of positioning? So yeah, you see, he's just moving back home, furthering the lead, getting some more Templars, I guess, because having storms against the army that Denver is providing will be pretty nice. And then I think as soon as he's maxed out, he's going to take the fight. Maybe he's going for another upgrade. Yeah, +3 is on the way, as I can tell you right there. It's like, yeah, what is it? 70 seconds from finishing. So let's see if he can actually wait that long. So it's a little bit more than a minute there until he has +3 attack. So yeah, it could be the case that he just tries to max out until that point in time and then just go in with +3 against Denver that has, yeah, not the best of unit compositions. And there we have the sandwich by ShoWTimE, and there's the GG called by Denver. Here we go with ShoWTimE taking the ace match, and therefore we have the MKERS advancing to the final game of the Alpha SC2 Team League Pro Series.